Loud. We're now recording.
Thank you. Configure courses and programs.
Mhm.
Program radio button.
Yes.
Tasks, add program.
And here it is. New
What
code.
is the code?
I assigned the code AUSB, and you do this in caps, space CRW. It is a communications and creative writing theme.
Okay.
And then because it's Santa Barbara's first one, my instinct, Stephanie, was let's just go with 1001.
And with
Sound okay?
spaces, or this sounds good to me. What
A
space?
space after W,
Space.
1001.
Okay.
That's how it will read. And then the description is the title that's on your Word doc from Colette. So now you're going to be toggling from your Word doc to Elevate.
Right. Okay. I lost myself.
Give me 1 second.
Sure.
Perfect.
Does
And
that
then
sound- Okay.
instructional method will be webinar. And then the status will be program open. Program level will be continuing education. And I always do the approval date, even though it's not a required field, as today. Seems to make sense to me. And there is no department populated, so that doesn't factor, doesn't matter, and you can add.
Wow, this is so exciting.
Here you have a program has been created.
Okay.
So then we want to look through the properties and review the code is correct, the title, webinar, program open, continuing education, registration level will be program instance. And the fee category will be standard category.
Standard category for fees, right? Did we?
And then tags, we're going to select utilizes Zoom.
Oh, good to know.
We're not going to close it, and there's nothing for department, but now we have student category. And I think, Stephanie, this should be a community offering.
Okay.
So that's the catalog page roster that it will show on. And it's the community offerings that we promote the most.
Yes. So save program?
Yep.
Okay.
And look at delivery. Current. That's the default and it's always fine, but I just check it every time just because it feels good to do things in order.
Right. And organized and go through each tab.
And there's no grading, so that's fine. And there aren't any awards, although by Monday, I will have the certificates and award templates built.
Oh my gosh.
No. Because the provost is really pushing for a professional development portfolio for Michelle Coppett. So
I see.
And now we're ready for brief summary.
Okay, so view, edit. Okay.
And we want this always to be at program content where the radio button is defaulted.
Thank you.
And now you can copy and paste Colette's short description in there.
And it was just this first sentence?
She just had a short sentence and
okay.
It's okay. I think what I'd like to suggest is that we go ahead and publish this. It's not going to hurt anything. And then share the links with Colette so she can see what her offering looks like and return to us with any expansion or edits that she'd like to develop for it.
Okay. When I reach
I'd
out to
also like to suggest that she might want to think more creatively about her title. You know, every aspect of this is a fishhook of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure that she's really projecting. Now we're not, you can save, but we're not done here yet.
Okay, I'm gonna wait.
So hit enter.
Hit enter.
Uh-huh. And it's an online webinar.
So you want me to write that?
Type online
Oops.
online webinar. And then space /
Space. Oh my God. How would I know this? Space without you, /
space,
space.
and in caps, free, FREE.
Oh, so this is, okay. This is going to transfer to the web page.
Yeah. And then you just did enter. Do a backspace, go back up to free again. This time hit shift enter.
Shift enter.
You see it takes you
it
tight.
condenses the space.
Yeah.
See how much you've learned?
I know.
Oh my gosh.
And so now we need to propose a date. Like,
I need to ask her. Can I write date TBD for now? Just
yes,
so that
you
we
can. That's an excellent idea.
Okay.
And then shift enter time TBD.
Shift enter time TBD. Okay.
That's perfectly fine. And then make those 3 lines bold, highlight them and make them bold. They show up better on the website.
Great.
That's the bones of the short summary. I think when Colette sees this, she'll recognize how she can expand and make the title and summary more creative. But the proposal form, if she hasn't really looked through continuing education and compared with other offerings, she gave us just bones, but it'll build and get creative. Now you're ready to save. And we go on to the long description.
Okay, long summary. Okay.
And
program
then here,
content.
That's correct. Great.
And then this is it, right? Okay.
Perfect. Now, I go ahead and save it. And here's another thing that I learned, because oftentimes the information on the web isn't complete. If you would please, and I usually do this instinctively, but go back up to brief summary.
Okay, here we go.
And copy the online webinar free date to be determined. Copy those 3 lines.
Okay.
And go ahead and save or cancel. And go back to the long summary.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And I put this at the top of the long summary. So you might want to just enter down once and then paste that there in the top.
Got it.
So many people get to the registration page and say, I'm sorry, there's no time, there's no day, because it was in the short. So now I've learned it's got to be in both the summaries.
Oh, see, we're learning so much. So now save.
Okay, so now you have, you can hit enter after her narrative paragraph after the description. And I usually put about Colette.
In capitals?
I like it in caps, but not bold, yeah.
I hope that's how you spell her name. I'll check.
We do need to check that. I think I have one L there, and
right, there's one.
We'll go back and.
Oops, should I do shift enter?
No, you're okay.
No.
Now you can just paste in that. And here's our chance to check ourselves, Stephanie, because that biography I took from her Santa Barbara faculty webpage, so it's going to have the correct spelling of her name.
1 L and 2 E's. Wow, look at that.
Sweet.
And then do we add her picture?
Well, so no, here's your learning exercise for adding a picture. Go to the Word document, and we might want to go ahead, save this for now.
Oh,
And can you share the Word doc can you switch out the share? You might have to stop share and reshare because web pages and documents don't flow.
okay. Sorry, 1 second.
Take your time.
Okay. Do you see the Word document?
I do.
Okay.
So, do you see the HTML code that I have at the bottom?
Yes, it says Kate Maruyama.
Yeah. So this is our standard formula for inserting a picture in HTML source.
Okay.
And so each time you'll see that the URL address, so change Kate's name to Colette Friedman.
Colette. Oops. Colette Friedman. Oh,
And
cool.
then the URL, where it says float right src equals, and then a quotation.
Yes.
You need to take out, leave the quotation, but delete it from the H to the G on JPEG.
To here?
No, take the next, right up to the G.
Okay.
You want to be careful. Take the G away too.
Oh, take the G away.
We want to be careful not to take away that closing quotation.
Okay.
That's on the second line. Do you see it? So now scroll up a little bit. And here is the URL for Colette's photo.
Wow. So I do the whole thing?
Copy it and paste it right after that quotation. And do hit delete once, so it's, Now copy that. This is the source code for embedding the photo.
Wow.
And now go back to the long summary, and I'll show you how we insert this in code.
Oh my gosh, I'm learning so much.
And you'll see how complex Elevate is.
Yes, it is. Okay. Where do I paste that?
Okay, so I'm still seeing words. You're going to have to do a stop share and reshare for me to see your web page again.
Okay.
And that will criticize Zoom for.
Okay, so do you see it?
Beautiful.
Okay.
So now, give me a second, my OneNote popped up. Okay, so now what you want to do is find the word source. It's in the third line of the tool sets to the right.
Right
Click
here.
on source.
Oh my goodness.
Right? Here's the HTML code. We need to scroll through this and find the words about Colette.
Oh my God.
There it is. See it in the middle?
Okay, here.
Put your, click there after the
P.
greater than sign. Hit enter once.
Enter once.
And then paste that formula.
Okay.
Beautiful. And click save.
I hope that was right. Okay.
And now open the long summary edit pencil.
Oh my gosh, yay!
Look what you did.
Well, you did. You showed me. Oh my God.
Here we are.
Wow.
Isn't that nice?
It's beautiful. Now, do I hit
And
save?
by all means, save again. I saved 4 times, even though I haven't changed.
I'm telling you. Okay.
So here we are. Now we can go, there won't be any documents. Documents is a tool that allows us to provide like preliminary documents and such, but we haven't learned how to implement that. And when I have a required reading or a suggested reading before a writing webinar or something, I put it in the invitation, the access link. So we want to go now to finance. We'll do instances last.
Last, okay, finance.
I do instances last because I don't want to forget the finance details, because we're still in the program level. A program is almost all built, and then we build an instance for the program. So the program lasts forever, and we can go in and edit it and change it. And if Colette were to teach this 6 months from now, we'd use this program, we'd go into the summaries and change the dates, and then we would add a new instance for registrations.
Brilliant. Okay.
So we want to add a finance link, and then finance transaction types. Now we need to see what you've got here to work with. Is there anything that is Santa Barbara?
New England, Santa Barbara. Here we go. Non-cash book, non-matric.
Non-matric masters, undergraduate adjustment, women in leadership. Transfer credit, transfer debit. What we want is a tuition fee, a continuing education tuition fee, which hasn't been built. Do you know a GL code for Santa Barbara continuing education revenue?
I don't. I could ask Dottie, but again, that was part of the problem.
This is how we're going to learn. I would like to suggest that for this offering, we use the Inspiration to Publication tuition fee and tuition adjustment, and we'll use the Antioch University Continuing Education GL code, because John Zhu can transfer that to a Santa Barbara GL code when we've identified it. And I think we're going to have to reach out to finance to create a new continuing education GL code. Is that okay with you?
I guess so. Yeah.
We'll be able to do, he does a line item transfer to Suite. And I don't want to make this a pattern for every offering. We certainly want Santa Barbara to be in the finance stream, but just to get one offering up and running and started, so that you can take it to Provost, that you've got, do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, thank you.
So go ahead and use the Inspiration to Publication tuition fee.
Okay.
And then in the next one, type 1033 in the search.
1033.
This is the broad continuing education, and use the one in the center that, and save. And now we're going to add one more. And this time it's going to be the Inspiration to Publication tuition adjustment. We always have to build the potential for a refund, as it's the same as, I don't with the free offerings, but certainly with anything that has money. And we'll use the same general ledger code.
1033.
And again, you're going to learn what this general ledger code is, so that there's a finance stream and a cost center item for Santa Barbara's continuing education.
Okay.
And
again with the middle.
One,
Okay.
The general ledger codes are the same, because the idea is one is to collect a fee, the other is to refund it, and they would come from the same cost center. So now the whole program is built.
Woo!
And you can go to instances, the instance tab.
Instances. Got it.
And up here under tasks at the top right, we're going to add a program instance. And So here we are, everything populated from the, so a start date is a required field. Now this start date's not going to show on the web page, but to get it to publish, why don't we put a start date of something like, I don't know what, July.
July 6th?
Let's do July 20th, just so that we've got a few weeks
Some
of
time.
wiggle
Okay.
room. Yeah. And now select the site. And that's Santa Barbara.
Oh my goodness, the first
Oh.
one. Okay.
Program year is going to be 20.
Okay. I remember
Introduction
one
is
is always
webinar.
one.
And
Webinar.
then session type will be single session. And then status. This is where the instance differs from the program. We set the program with program open. This time we're going to say program instance open. And when we take these off the website, because you're eventually going to have multiple offerings happening and coming
That's
in.
right.
So the simple trick to take them off the website is to go to the instance and change instance open to program open, and it just takes it down.
Wow. Okay. That's in the recording, so I'll make notes about that later.
We'll build these together. I've done, you know, like 5 or 6 with Ingrid.
Oh,
And
that's
then
great.
all of a sudden she just, and this is where it gets tricky. I really do want documentation for these things, but this is not, it just doesn't, it's not easy to follow screenshots.
No.
It's a hands-on.
And also, as you can see, there are so many moving parts to this, Ken. There's so many.
I know.
I need my Ken.
We could have, you know, a 30-page series of screenshots and it still gets.
Truly, yeah.
So now we have program concentrations. This is important.
Oh, program concentrations.
And
Creative
this,
writing?
I think, is creative writing and communication studies.
Okay.
Great. We don't need an end date. We don't need anything else in that right column.
Okay, so I add.
You go ahead and now you're adding an instance.
Woohoo!
And there it is. It's a webinar. We've got a tentative date, a placeholder of 7/20. So we can begin with, this is not a part of a course group or a course. It's a single session. That's how we built the properties of the instance. So the first 2 tabs we do not need. The third tab, fees, is going to be just like, well, this is what links to the finance. So we're going to add, we don't have templates built. And then the category is going to be standard category. And the fee type will be, again, we're going to use inspiration to publication tuition fee, but we'll get created a Santa Barbara CE tuition fee. And this will be a $39 webinar. And save. Great. Now we can review the properties.
Properties.
And we've got the program year, the title, capacity, and wait list. So should we just guess at a capacity of 20 for now?
Sure. Is that what you've been doing?
Well, it depends upon the offering, the program. This is not a free offering, it's a for fee.
Yes.
So if Colette has 20 people registered, I think she'll be
happy.
Static, because essentially that's $800 times 60%. That's a $500 paycheck for doing a 2-hour webinar.
That is wonderful. Okay.
It's a nice deal. So then we want to, let's enable the wait list.
Enable it.
Just because she could be more popular than we know. And let's add 10 to the wait list.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Okay, great.
Great. And so the program instance open is correct for the status. And then the tag is there. That's everything for that line, column. Instructional method webinar start date. Look at course delivery for a second. At the bottom one, I think that might be. Nope, it's not. Okay. And save.
Wow.
Yeah. And now we go to the defaults tab.
Defaults.
And we don't have weeks or, but fee category is going to be important.
Fee category.
And again, that's the standard. Organization and franchise don't matter. Organization is going to come into play when we do get those professional development classes. And then fee level.
Fee level.
Program instance fee. These all have to line up. And then student category will be community offering.
Thank you.
Because we want it to be on that roster. And then Stephanie, click the box that says publish on web.
Oh my gosh.
And save.
Oh, this is so exciting.
We don't have grading targets or content, but we do always put a role. So in the roles tab, we're going to add you.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So search Holland, administrative staff, check
There
your box, and add, so that there's at least administration
right.
connected to the offering. And the next, we don't have, content is already pulled in from the program level.
Mm-hmm.
So you can take a look at that. And you'll see that when you look at the brief summary, what you want to do is click the radio button that says program content.
Yep. There it is.
And there it is. So you can go ahead and cancel. I just always do this because a part of me wants to double check things. So I just want to be sure that the program content showed up at the instance level. So you can look at the long summary too, just to be sure. But don't worry if the spacing looks awkward in the long summary. Sometimes it will. And the photo,
in her picture. Yes.
Yeah, because the web is going to publish the program that you built. The instance is the layer on it. It's not, again, the most perfect, but it will work. So next we go to finance. And we're going to add those same things, tuition fee, tuition adjustment, and the
How
general.
come we have to add them in so many places?
So that they, I don't know, they get to finance.
Okay, so
Tuition fee.
Tuition fee.
And then we'll select that same 1033.
Middle one.
1050 in the middle there.
Save.
And then we'll add the adjustment.
There.
It doesn't matter which order we do these in, the fee and the adjustment, but again, in my mind, it feels like fee should come before adjustment.
I agree. It just makes good logical sense to me.
All right, here's your final step. Go back to the defaults tab.
Defaults.
And up in the top right, add services for this program.
Yes.
And select enroll and pay. And then the service template will be simple book and pay. That's the one we used throughout. And instance group is inspiration to publication classes right now because we need to add Santa Barbara.
Okay.
And start date 2014. Again, I like to put today's date. It's just as good as any other. And
go live.
Now, I'm going to put something in, I have a special login for continuing education that is a renewal. It clears cache and gives a fresh page because it takes 24 hours for an offering to publish on the web overnight.
Okay.
So we have an instant publish. Let me find that for a sec.
Do I need to log out?
Nope, stay right where you are.
Okay.
Copy,
Excuse me for just a moment. I'll be right back.
please.
I
Okay.
keep forgetting that I need glasses to read these days.
I've long passed that. I need glasses to find my way down the hallway in the morning.
Okay.
Okay, so I put a link in the chat.
Oh. Should I stop share?
No, keep share up and go ahead and click on the link.
I can't get to, I think I have to stop share.
Oh,
so
to
that I
find
can see
chat.
this chat.
Oh,
Okay.
it would have been at the top. No, you don't have. Oh, that's okay.
Oh, I can share again, but.
Yeah, Zoom does this floating tool at the top that confuses people.
Okay, so should I check it?
Yeah. And when you get the continuing education main page open, share your screen again. Wonderful. Let's see, under focus area, we placed this in creative writing and communication. Turn your story into a screenplay.
I went right past it. Oh my goodness. Look at that. We did it, Ken.
Yes, you did. So
We
now go
did it.
back to the home page.
Yes.
And in column 2, affiliated campus, do we see some Santa Barbara there? right? And then back to the home page because she'll be in the third column as well.
Oh, wow.
And that will be under community offerings.
Community offerings. You know, that's wonderful. So depending on what a student or person,
What their interests are, or
yeah, she shows up 3 times. Okay, that's great.
shows up 4 times.
Oh,
And these are, there it is. These are ordered by date.
okay.
And then she'll be in the 4th column under webinar.
Oh my gosh. So that's why we did all that work. All those fields. Oh my
There she
goodness,
is.
Ken, that is awesome.
So I think now, and you know, when you have time, the next step to me seems like it would be for you to reach out to Colette
Okay.
and tell her that we built the shell of her idea, that we love her idea, you know, all that kind of nice stuff,
Mm-hmm.
that we build it as a $39 webinar. And here are some questions. First of all, the date.
Mm-hmm.
Second is the length of time. I recommend 90 minutes. I think in 90 minutes, it's a good value for $39 and it's a balanced amount of effort on the facilitator's part.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll ask her if that's all right.
And then you can send her all 4 of the area links so that she understands she's in creative writing, Santa Barbara, community offerings, and webinars. And then one of the links, because it's the same registration page, the long description and registration page is the same one from all 4 links.
Mm-hmm.
But I always send them all 5 links so that, and the link to the main page so that they can get a feeling for what our catalog does and how it's interactive or approachable, from how it has 5 or 6 doors
Right, right.
for people
Which
to find.
I love. I think that's just great.
And then I would invite her to compare her offering with some of the others so that she can assess how satisfied she is with her content, her narrative, her pitch.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she gets back to you with expanded narrative and feedback, you reach out to me, and in 30 minutes, we can do all these updates because it's all built. The editing from here on is so easy.
Okay.
And then the final detail to talk about with Colette is the payment schedule and contract. So I'm not going to finish my day today until I have that general $39 webinar contract at least set. But you reach out to her when you can and let her know that we'll be following up with the distance education provost's contract, that essentially the summary of the contract is 60% of the registration revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And some of our webinars, the biohacking, and you know, some of this, Stephanie, I don't know if you want to type it all up. Maybe she'll Zoom with you for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And she's willing to do that. I'm happy to partner too.
Oh, please. Thank you.
I don't want to override your agency because you are Santa Barbara Continuing Education among 75 other jobs. But I certainly
We're
want
all
to,
in that position.
in any way. So we could, you know, answer more questions that way live for her if she wants, or what do you think?
Yes. Well, let me reach out to her first with an
John.
email, and then we'll go from there.
I think she'll be super excited to see. You know,
I'm super excited.
And you know, remind her that this is just the skeleton of her offering, in our catalogs, but it's a starting point. And I do think that when they see their bios and their picture and the descriptions that they sent in, typically they want to make it more fantastic. You know, they want to
Yes, you've noticed that. Okay.
personalize it, and yeah. But they don't know how to do that until they've seen what it is.
Right.
And maybe that's something else I should add to that proposal form. Name, for sure, but maybe a link to the current community offerings or something.
Well, you know, when I initially reached out to faculty,
You put that in the letter.
I did. And so I would have thought, you know, people are curious, and I would have thought that
Yeah.
it's there. She would have
I'm going to
looked.
stop the recording now. I think we got our,
Teachings.
yeah. And I don't want to speak about facilitators in general or start.
Okay, so I'm gonna, all right, so let me